Wolf Pack, what's going on? Your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, RotoStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with your Week 12 sit-start show. 4 more weeks, actually less than that now. This is including this week, 4 more weeks until your fantasy football playoffs, Wolf Pack. Hopefully everybody out there had a great Thanksgiving. This is always one of the toughest. Well, first, how was your Thanksgiving, CJ? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, Thanksgiving wasn't bad. I mean, my Buckeyes got absolutely smashed yesterday, it's been a tough 24 hours, but I'm hanging in there. Where'd the intro go?
Oh yeah, true.
Well, whatever. We'll just roll without it.
Well, we're gonna hit the intro for the folks.
Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the ball. Pyle trying to get his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Take 2. Wolf back. What's going on? The Wolf of Roto Street, RotoStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with your Week 12 sit-start show. Fresh off Thanksgiving. Great, always a wonderful holiday. Probably, I think it's official. I've said this most years, and I think I can officially stamp it. Those 4 days from like the night before Thanksgiving to today, yep. I don't know that I ever drink more in like a 4-day span. It is just...
Oh, exactly. I took yesterday off. I should have drowned my sorrows, my Buckeye tears, but yeah, it's a disgusting time. But it's also it's the best holiday. So
it's the best. I love it. It's painful. Like today just is like, oh, and then like tomorrow the worst Monday looms ever. But man, it's such a great stretch. We've had a great run here, obviously. Some good football, not really good football. Actually, the middle game on Thanksgiving was okay. The rest of it was complete trash. Tony Jones is a complete a-hole. Hopefully none of you started him, unlike myself and unlike CJ.
And me.
Every single league. Oh, absolutely painful, absolutely abysmal.
We had a tough one. I usually never answer like sit-start questions from the Roto Street account, but I was just like bored and this guy kept asking us. So he was like, Tony Jones or whoever. And I was like, Tony Jones. He's like, oh, I went the other way. He's like, how about this one? Tony Jones or whatever. Tony Jones. Just went 0 for 3 for the guy. It's like,
awful. Yeah, there's nobody that you should not have played ahead of Tony Jones at this point. 2.7, just abysmal. Oh, awful stuff. But we are now on Sunday, and hopefully our teams can recover. At least in my main league where I started Tony Jones, I had Dawson Knox ripping it up. That guy is just an absolute legend. So very thankful for him on this Thanksgiving. Indeed. Fun time watching Michigan slap around the Buckeyes. I know you saw me banging that little cowbell, CJ. Hopefully you have some nightmares of that.
Oh, that was
as
terrible.
we head into fantasy.
I feel like that was just like a direct shot.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's dancing around just for you, shaking it with the cowbell. But, folks, as you come in here, that thumbs up does help us continue to grow, get out to more people. We've already got over 20 questions. You love to see it. Love to get back on the swing of things. I'm sure our boy Ben Tomsick is very pleased with the lighting situation. CJ gets to see your beautiful face. I'm sure Ben will be very pleased that you finally – I don't know where you're at, but you're not in jail anymore, so that's good.
No, well, I learned that you can't just have it directly facing the window. Mm-hmm. It took me about 4 weeks to figure that out.
It only took 3/4 of the season, but
so I just had to move. I just had to move the camera a bit.
Perfect. Well, your angelic glow, it's here with us today, and it's lovely. We'll start off though. Definitely a few things we got to be monitoring today. One situation is the Giants. Saquon Barkley is in. He's expected to go. Didn't seem like he was really ever truly questionable. Coming off about 60% of the snaps last time, I expect that workload to keep going up. He's in my top 10 running backs. He's actually only 6,300 on DraftKings. There's a time where he was 8,500, 9K, and maybe still could be. He had over 20 fantasy points in 3 of his straight starts before he got down. So I think 6,300 DraftKings very much in play. We know he's already in your lineups. I'd assume at least if you have a sit start, of course, get it in with him. And that's also because Shepard and Tony are out. Who else do they have to throw to? Evan Ingram, maybe. I don't know. Darius Slayton, Galladay.
I hate these two guys so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're good when they're in there, kind of. Shepard's really steady. Tony's the one that just looks amazing, but they can never get it going. The one benefit of everybody right now is Jason Garrett got fired last week. Thankfully, the dumbest offensive coordinator, the dumbest coach in NFL, I believe. So it's good to see him gone. Freddie Kitchens chefing up another masterpiece this year. We will see.
I mean, I was so when they made that move, I knew that we had a bunch of articles on him. We might be like low key, probably like the highest like Freddie Kitchens website. We have like 4 glowing articles. Like Baker is gonna chef it up in the kitchen.
Chef up a top 10 QB masterpiece in Freddie's kitchen. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember all those. He did have a great run when he was the offensive coordinator there.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a head coach, it crumbles really fast. But as an offensive coordinator, nothing could be a downgrade. So I'm hoping he can reclaim the glory. Maybe he did have a tendency before when he became the offensive coordinator of the Browns. He was riding one back. Fed him in the receiving game. I think Barkley, he's going to center this offense around him today. He has a big one, so check that out. I do think Ingram is a viable streamer at tight end with no Kyle Rudolph, or he's at least doubtful, unlikely to play. So one less mouth to feed. All of these like ancillary pieces. Maybe it's Colin Johnson as a big slot. He's $3K on DraftKings. Less about playing these guys in seasonal leagues, but certainly some value for DraftKings from these pass catchers could emerge. We will see. Indeed, Kareem Hunt activated.
Is it Evan Ingram week?
It could be. I really think so. I think, what is he, like 3,300 on draft?
Yeah, actually, I have him in one lineup.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it should be. The Eagles, speaking on that, the Eagles do get the most points to tight ends by like a long shot this year. He has no other competition for targets. It should be Evan Ingram week. I still am a little hesitant, but if you have him going, this is, if you're not going to use him this week, then you might as well cut him because this is the only time he's set up for success. Kareem Hunt's activated from the IR. Let us know if you have Kareem Hunt questions. I'm a little bit higher than the ECR on him. He's a top 7 running back before he went down. Very involved in the receiving game. Certainly hurts Chubb a little bit, but both these guys are much in play, especially with that big red tackle, Jack Conklin, returning to already one of the best line. One of the stories that you're going to have to monitor throughout the day is Aaron Jones. He is optimistic, they're saying, that he's going to play. He looked good in all the practice footage we've seen. The other piece of that, though, is they do have the bye lingering this week. So even if he could go, there is a chance they might just rest him anyways. He could get eased in and not have a full workload, just kind of get a few reps in. It's a tough situation because A.J. Dillon would be a top 15 smash play if Jones sat. But now we don't know exactly what's going to happen. That game is at 425, so you have to have a backup option. I think my only advice for this one is if you're waiting that out, whether it's Dillon, whether it's Aaron Jones, put him in the flex to give yourself a few more options. Let us know, who are some 4 o'clock guys that you could potentially toss in there to make it up. If Aaron Jones plays, I don't know that I really like either of them. I'd probably have him in top 20, like running back 20-ish. I have him at 18 right now as if he's playing. It's still not great, though, in this situation. Are you dealing with this situation in any league, CJ?
I have A.J. Dillon in a few, but I also have Elijah Mitchell, so I might go with him, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a flip of the coin at this point.
Yeah, that's the perfect type of situation because if Jones sits, Dillon's the lock. He's easily above Mitchell for me. But if Jones plays, then it becomes a questionable situation. You just go with Eli Mitchell, who's been seeing 80% of the work in that backfield. So ideally, you guys have a setup like that too. You might not. You might have to go scoop. I mean, I'm trying to think of like it's pretty barren out there right now. Like we're looking at like Osborne for the Vikings, like as a Hail Mary, just deep ball, or Conklin, as a double tight end type of flex.
MVS maybe.
I like that one. I think MVS is probably as good as it gets out there in the waiver wire. Nick, we'll talk about receivers in a second, but a few good streamers do play at 1 o'clock, unfortunately. So it is a tricky situation. Let us know what you have if you're dealing with that A.J. Dillon situation. Alex Collins is removed from the injury report. He hasn't scored more than 5 fantasy points in 3 straight weeks, even as the quote unquote lead back. Yeah. Hopefully he's not in one of your questions because I'll probably say no, but it is an ugly time. And I started Tony Jones, so who am I to judge anybody?
That was kind of what Jimbo was asking in the chat today about DJ Dallas waiting for Aaron Jones. Would that be viable?
And I actually think so. I didn't see that chat right before we got live on air. I think DJ Dallas is definitely a viable pickup and stream if you're waiting for Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. He scored the touchdown last week. He's the clear-cut pass catcher, and they don't have either Travis Homer or Rashad Penny. So those two are going to get all the backfield work. I do think the more valuable touches end up going to DJ Dallas, who's out there in all but 5% of leagues right now. I'd say very viable pickup. I think it's a great one by our boy Jimbo Slice to toss that out there. DJ Dallas, worth stashing for right now if you're trying to wait this out. And definitely, I think, more viable play than Alex Collins this week. Eli Mitchell is expected to play. Definitely, I don't know why it says viable streamer because he's not a streamer. He's just always a great play. So he's in there. Put him on in there in your lineups. Michael Carter is on to the IR at this point. So put him in your IR spots. It does make Ty Johnson, who's now owned in about 40% of leagues. Check your league for him. Could be the main guy. Tevin Coleman, desperate type of maybe he falls into the end zone play. He did get the 5 carries when Michael Carter was knocked out last week. Compared to just 1 for Ty Johnson. But historically, Ty Johnson, when he gets volume, he does pretty well. He got all the receiving work too when Carter was out, and that's really what's valuable about this backfield. Last couple notes, Cordarrelle Patterson is a game time decision, so we'll be monitoring that, of course, in the comments, as you guys always often do for us. If you hear anything, let us know. It seems like he was trending towards being in, and if he's in my lineups. Top 15 running back for me, top 25 wide receiver. If he has that dual eligibility, he'd have to be in lineups against the Jags. Big play machine, and against a team that gives up a lot of big plays. Pretty easy math there. And then A.J. Brown. This was one where I woke up this morning and was like, I haven't looked at fantasy football for like 2 or 3 days, just kind of in my binge and stupor. And I was like, A.J. Brown's out. Oh, wait, A.J. Brown's on the IR now. What? Where have I been?
That team is a mess.
Disgusting. So I do think Nick Westbrook becomes a viable streamer. I'm actually really into Dontrell Hilliard as well today. No McNichols. He's also out. He had, 8 catches last week on 10 targets, 29% target share. I think that's going to be kind of the dink and dunk game is where they're going to get anything done against the Patriots. And I don't think they're going to get much done. So I like Nick Westbrook because there's so many targets available a little bit, but it's also that whole narrative, like, does Belichick, who is their best weapon? Who is Belichick?
I don't think there is. I think they're just.
Who does he focus on? Like, who is the number one option that you've got to take out of this game? I don't even know.
No one. They'll probably just sit in some like base defense and chill.
Right. It's going to be a joke. I guess the biggest takeaway here is don't play Ryan Tannehill. You shouldn't have really been anyways, even if A.J. Brown was in against the Pats, but especially now. No reason to have Ryan Tannehill in any lineups. I do think Dontrell Hilliard is worth a stream, though. He's only 25% rostered as of this viewing. And I know on DraftKings, he's 4,600. So PPR formats, just 8 catches. He's already going to pay off that value. If he falls in the end zone with those 8 catches, then you got yourself one of the best plays of the day. So I'm definitely plugging him in there as a value running back where my lineup needs some salary relief. Corey Davis is doubtful. He's unlikely to go. It already has become the Eli Morse show. I just think this only helps him because we saw Davis have a much better rapport early on with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's at QB now again. So one thing that's taken out Eli Moore this year has been Zach Wilson. He's caught a touchdown from every other quarterback on the roster. He's the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy across these last 4 weeks. The only thing that could stop him is Zach Wilson, but at this point, they really don't have anyone else to throw to anyways. I think the Elijah Moore show continues onward. I'm about 8 spots higher than the ECR on him. That guy is so damn good. So I'm looking for him. I don't know how much he is on DraftKings. I meant to jot that note down. I don't know if you have it open, CJ, with Eli Moore, but he could be very much in play on DraftKings as well. Curtis Samuel, maybe a stash. He's going to probably play. Whatever. It's like a very nice talent, but ultimately – he's done nothing yet. He got re-injured the last time he played, so not too
Moore is 5,600.
5,600 for Eli Moore. That's a pretty good price. Like he was 4,800 last week, and I had him in a bunch. Unfortunately, I always have like the right pieces in 2 different lineups, and I never have them all in like the same one. Unfortunately, so my Eli Moore lineup, I didn't have. I just need to get that perfect one this week. Eric Ibron, he's now on IR, so we knew he was likely to miss this week. Now you got 3 weeks of him out. So Pat Fry, we've loved him all year. Touchdown machine. And now the last 2 games he played without Eric Ebron, he was the tight end 1, tight end 2, scored 3 touchdowns across those 2 games. I think he's a great bet to find the end zone at some point today. Logan Thomas, last 2 notes here, has been activated with Ricky Seals-Jones out. I think he can get right back in the lineups. Let me see. I actually might need to double check. I'm not sure if I have him ranked quite yet. But entering the year, he was a top 7 tight end, like kind of that round 9 lock. Loved him, and now it's like, how involved is he going to be? I had him at tight end 14. There are actually like more tight ends this year than I think there have been in many years past. I have him right below Hunter Henry for context. Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, tight end 14. Logan Thomas, just ahead of Dan Arnold and Higbee. So those guys are popular, viable streams too. I'm actually going to bump Evan Ingram. If I had Ingram and Logan Thomas, I think I would go Ingram. I really think he's going to find the end zone today.
Yeah, I like Ingram too. I mean, I've always been an Ingram fan, but for some reason.
I know. Finally, with Jason Garrett gone and Freddie Kitchens chefing up a masterpiece back there, I think Ingram, with nobody else to throw to, truly just him and Saquon, I think they could both have solid days here. And last but not least, Gronk, he's off the Week 12 injury report. Right into my top 5 tight ends. Every single week he's played, he's had top 5 numbers. Even last week without a touchdown, the whole thing was like, oh, he doesn't get touchdowns. Well, he had 8 catches in his first game back. The Colts are a bottom 5 matchup, so perfect matchup for him. The ultimate pass funnel defense with an NFL highest 28 touchdowns through the air. I have Gronk ahead of Kyle Pitts even. So tight end 4 behind only Kittle and Andrews. And honestly, like he might even be more viable than them. He's also only 4,400 on DraftKings. So if you're not going to Ingram and saving some money, I personally like paying up a little bit to go get to Gronk. I just love stacking that game with I think, what's his name? Michael Pittman's 5,600. That game is juicy.
Yeah,
Godwin 7K. What's that?
Should be a good high scoring game, especially for fantasy.
I think that's my favorite on the slate. And the spread was the highest too of the main slate as well. I'm looking forward to that one, the Colts versus the Bucks. And Jonathan Taylor versus the best run D in the league. Let's see how that goes. I know the Bills were supposedly one of the best run Ds in the league, and then he just demolished them. I don't think matchup matters for Jonathan Taylor. Not that any of you should be considering him considering him on your bench, that is. All righty, guys. Well over almost 60 questions already. That's all we got for morning news so far. Again, we'll be tracking if anything new comes in on Aaron Jones. And, of course, Cordarrelle Patterson being that game time decision are kind of the biggest things still lingering, still overhanging the final rankings here. So if we get anything more concrete, we will let you know. As we get to your questions, please consider giving us that thumbs up. It does help us to continue to grow. I wouldn't keep asking if it didn't truly make a big difference. So please consider giving us that thumbs up, sharing out the link, dropping it in a YouTube or Facebook chat or whatever your groups are all in to keep growing the Wolfpack. It'd be so appreciated. And of course, if you want to jump to the top of the line, the super chat function is a way to support the site and also get your answer in while you ask it. Because I know some of you ask your questions and then go off and want to make sure you get a good in-depth answer. That super chat function, we appreciate it. It helps us out so much, and it will jump you right to the top of the line. All righty, enough promotion. Let's
So
get
we actually got one at 11:13. If you go down.
Oh, we got a super chat. All right, let me scroll through. Thank you. Oh yeah, Mr. Michelson, Steve, what's going on, brother? Thanks so much.
Steve Michelson, boys, flex spot, full PPR, Claypool, Stevenson, or Burkhead. Have a great Sunday.
Oh man, it's wild that Burkhead's even like a viable option in this question. I wouldn't go him. He did have 18 carries last week, and he does get the Jets the easiest possible matchup. So, is he viable? He is.
Who's worse, Burkhead or Tony Jones?
I wish I could have Burkhead in my lineup at this point. Tony Jones was a absolute, just brutal, just a terrible, terrible call. But at the end of the day, too, I look at the call. He had 16 carries. Usually, a running back that gets 16 carries is gonna do something. He's just that bad. I didn't know. I figured because they cut Latavius Murray, they were all the Nick Underhill hype.
Yeah, Underhill
loved this guy. Yeah. He looked bad, but the line didn't help him out. Either way, back to your question, Mr. Michelson. This is a pretty tough one. I think the Pats are going to roll the Titans, so I could see Stevenson kind of mop up, finding the end zone. Claypool, though, coming off a 9-catch day, his target stream has been a little bit steadier. I think I'm leaning towards Claypool in this one. What are your thoughts, CJ?
That was my first thought. Stevenson, I don't know. He's been banged up during the week. Burkhead, absolutely not. So, yeah, I'm going Claypool there.
Yeah, it's tough to bench Claypool for Rex Burkhead, even though I get the thesis, I get the play. Claypool, though, has been rolling. I just want to double-check exactly what he's seen these last couple of weeks to make sure I'm not mistaken. It was game log. Not stats, game log. Give me 1 second. The computer's going really slow. We want to, of course, give you as good of an answer as we can for supporting the site here. It was 9 targets, 5 catches, not 9 catches, but 5 catches, 93 yards. Solid stuff there. Pretty decent day without finding the end zone. I think that can definitely continue. And since he's nothing to shy away from, with the Pittsburgh defense also pretty banged up, I think that game has a little bit more shootout potential as of right now than it would have earlier. So that's where we lean. All righty, back to the top. Thanks again, Mr. Michelson, for your support, Steve. We really, really appreciate it.
All right, Christina, good morning, gents. Hopefully you haze Pat at the Bailgate. Hollywood or Gibson, and then Freiermuth or Logan Thomas.
Awesome. One, yes, we definitely hazed Pat. He was in quite the shape yesterday. We had to go pick up my. I wasn't. Who am I to judge? I had to go pick up my car this morning. Let's put it that way. And he was outside cleaning and just looked like he had no soul anymore. But it was a great Bailgate. You couldn't haze him too bad because Michigan did just absolute damage. So he was in his glory. It was a great day. Where the hell were you, D India? Come on, you should have been there, hazing him yourself. I would probably go Gibson. I like the matchup against Seattle. The second most points to running backs, and they've just been feeding him. He's had over 20 carries in back-to-back weeks. I think this is a big Gibson week. As good as Marquise Brown is, as much as I love him, we've seen Rashad Bateman start to eat into that clear-cut number 1 target share. So give me Gibson in this case. That's a tough one, though. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, like I always say, I usually go with like the workhorse running back over the receiver. So with that, I can't believe you can't get both of them in, unless you probably started someone on Thursday, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'd go Gibson between those two.
I think they do a league where they don't have a flex. It's like 3 receivers, 2 running backs. So that does cap it. Your roster flexibility, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I lean with CJ too. I go Gibson, just the way he's been rolling. I know as soon as you put him in, he's going to be a dick again. But I don't know. I trust what we've seen, and he's been more involved in the receiving game too. We've seen McKissick really start getting phased out these last couple of weeks, and the matchup couldn't be better. Fry, Muth, or Logan Thomas. I'm rolling Fry. I love Fry. LT could be nice. LT3, Logan Thomas the third, but not this week. I'd rather wait that one out, see it out, especially while you have Fry, who again was the tight end 1 and tight end 2 in his 2 games without Ibron so far this year. He ran, over 70% of the routes, was in on 70% of the snaps or more. This is going to be another big solid game. Is there anything you disagree with there, CJ?
No, I'm with you there. Charlie Preble, Foreman or Collins?
Gross.
So gross.
Honestly, I'd rather go Hilliard over either of these guys. So if Hilliard's an option, I would go him, Prebz. If not, I guess just go for Collins. I really don't think the Titans are going to do anything on the Pats today other than maybe dink it down to Hilliard. So I'd go Collins here. I honestly might even prefer DJ Dallas over him, though. Well, do you have any specific leanings on this one? This is gross.
Yeah, I think Collins. I think he is, as you said, it is pretty gross. Yeah, I'll go Collins with you.
Yeah, I think he's the best shot at a touchdown of these guys, but not great. Let us know if Hilliard or what's his name. I think you do standard league too, though, which does lessen Hilliard's appeal. But yeah, Hilliard or DJ Dallas, honestly, the better of options, in my opinion, of those backfields, given the receiving work that they'll also see there. All right, let me and I have Collins 35, Hilliard 31, Foreman 37. They're all in that gross tier. Other guys that are out there in a lot of leagues, Boston Scott, Ty Johnson, even Burkhead, I'd probably have above either of those options, Preble. So let us know who's out there for you. But if it's only those two, it's Collins for us.
Eat Powder. Good morning, guys. Good luck today. Half PPR, Hunt or Judy. He lost Swift, needs some upside.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, that was a tough one on Thanksgiving. A lot of good performances. That was one that really hurt. If you need more, Judy's upside's definitely higher. I actually would probably go Kareem Hunt in most cases. But if it's half PPR, Judy's got a tough matchup. The Chargers are giving up the second fewest to wide receivers. I do like Hunt, but in terms of
been commanding a pretty big. He's been getting a pretty good amount of targets though. So
oh yeah,
I feel like he's not saying he's matchup proof, but he's such a good route runner that he doesn't.
And they've been force feeding him, even behind the line, just getting him the ball. I think if it's a pure upside play, which it sounds like it is, Eat Powder, you probably have to go Judy. I don't know what type of workload we're going to see for Kareem Hunt first game back. Toughish matchup against the Steelers. Or no, the Ravens tonight. Actually, that's actually a pretty decent matchup. I think I'm going Judy if you need the upside. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
We got a super chat here coming in from Katie Jaguar. Thank you so much, Keen, for supporting the site. Great to see you this week. What do we got for you?
Full PPR, running back 2. Should you wait on Aaron Jones with the backup DJ Dallas or Boston Scott?
I think, if Boston Scott's the other option, you might as well just wait it out and see what Aaron Jones does. I like Scott as is a pretty strong word. I think he's okay as a streamer this week, but Aaron Jones is still Aaron Jones. If he plays, he's still very viable, such a big play threat. So I would probably wait this one out because I do think DJ Dallas and Boston Scott, I have Scott a couple spots higher than DJ Dallas, but ultimately not a ton higher. So I think this one is worth waiting it out because Aaron Jones, like I said, would be my running back. I'm looking at the list right now, right around Gibson, Sanders, Fournette, then maybe Aaron Jones right ahead of Eli Mitchell if he plays. So, yeah, I would wait this one out, Katie. I would then play DJ Dallas as your fill-in, should he not. What do you think? Are you high on Boston Scott?
No, absolutely not. DJ Dallas, he isn't the worst backup option. So right. I would definitely wait on DJ Dallas.
Exactly. Yeah. Worst case, he's offering you very similar upside to what Boston Scott is going to do. I think Miles Sanders has a huge game today. Owner bias probably, but that's where
I need to go through all of our fantasy tailgates and just have like a clip every week, like week
Miles
one,
Sanders.
and then like have like a little montage after, like 12 carries for 17 yards.
Exactly. Oh God.
Andres, sup, pick 1.5 PPR. Ayuk, he's also playing Debo. Bateman, Cooks, Javonte Williams.
Oh, pretty good one. I really do like Ayuk today. I think if you weren't playing Debo, it would be a no-brainer. I still think, given that they give up the second most points or third most to wide receivers, the Vikings do, that it's viable to have them both in there. And Eli Mitchell coming back does limit, not Debo. I shouldn't say limits him because he's still. There goes my my stand there. It limits like a little bit because of how involved Debo was as a runner. Without Eli Mitchell there, you're not going to see those carries again. I don't think. Oh, they could use him like a Kamara, and he would be just as good, in my opinion. I would probably go Ayuk Debo, though. I think I'm rolling.
Debo's like RB1 now.
Yeah, he really is. He was killing it in the running game. So I would probably just go with both of your San Fran guys. If you wanted to avoid it, I don't hate Javonte's matchup. Cook should be good, but since Tyrod's been back, his target share has taken a big hit. And I just don't trust him at all right now. A couple back-to-back duds. And I do like Bateman, but I'd rather have Javonte or Ayuk ahead of Bateman. So I would go Ayuk myself. I would get both of those San Fran guys in there, Andres. But if you wanted to switch it up, Javonte would be my next one. What do you think, CJ?
I kind of like Cooks today. I know that hasn't been great lately, but gets the Jets. Tyrod's back. I know you didn't really do much, but I'd probably have him above Javonte. But yeah, Ayuk's hot right now. Just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, I'm rolling the hot Ayuk. I'm going to keep that going, Andres. They can both definitely have big days against that secondary, and that game has some of the higher upside of the slate. We got nearly 50 in here, only 12 likes on Facebook. I don't know what we're up to on YouTube. I can't see that live here, but it would be so appreciated, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up as we get through your questions here. And continue to try to grow the pack. It does help us to continue getting out to more people. So thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us. That thumbs up does really help.
Cordarrelle Patterson is playing. He's actually
alrighty, officially active. That's good because I have him in so many lineups that I don't have to go scramble right now to squeeze anything in. That's great. Cordarrelle Patterson is officially in, and he should be in your lineups, folks. I'm not worried about playing him today. Get him on in there. Let's watch him feast like he always does.
Powder also full PPR pick. One of these, Coleman, Collins, or Damian Harris.
I got to go Damian Harris there. I know Ramondre's been impressive, but I could see this being a game where we have 40 total carries, and 20 go to Harris and 15 go to Ramondre type of thing. I love Harris. He's just such a good player. Those other two options, so uninspiring. Yeah.
What do you where do you have Patterson? I was just going to tweet out like he's our RB, whatever.
Running back 14 is where I had him ranked. Running back 14, right below Darrell Henderson, right ahead of Gibson, if that helps give some context.
Powder, last one with all the Giants pass catchers out. Ingram or Higbee, half PPR, best stream out there. Love the WP.
Thank you so much. Wolf Pack, I think, is what the WP is for. You're the man, Powder. You are here every single week with us, and it's so greatly appreciated. It's not unnoticed. I go Ingram over Higbee. Higbee has been nothing all year. As good as that offense is, and the fact that he plays every snap in it, you think he should be a good, viable touchdown threat each week. But he's not. And as we mentioned with Ingram earlier, the number one matchups, Philadelphia giving up the most points to the tight end position by like a touchdown. It's kind of like the Jets are with running backs, how good that matchup is. There's nobody else, as you point out here. I'm going Ingram. I know you love Ingram this week too, CJ. So let's go Ingram, baby. Good luck.
Twin Calibre. Hypes up, guys. Got laughed at for asking whether to start Cam or Tannehill last week. So I had to ask again, Cam or Cam?
Oh, you got to go Cam. Was it us that laughed at you? Because we never go Tannehill, and especially now with no AJ Brown. Yeah, we're going Cam. I think he's joking. Do I go Cam or Cam? Yeah. But yes, go Cam, 100%.
Twin again, real tough one though. PPR, Bateman, Elijah Moore, Gage, or OBJ. Start two of these.
I'm definitely going Eli Moore. That's the easiest of them. He's kind of a couple tiers above the rest. And then I'm going Bateman. I know he was a little disappointing last week, but Huntley at QB, I'm going to forgive him for that. I want to say Beckham. I'm excited to see. He's probably one of the must-watch stories of the week, what me and Truth talked about. But I'm going to wait that one out if I can. I think Bateman's a good way to wait that out. What do you think, CJ?
Bateman was so disappointing last week, but I know it was with that backup quarterback who sucks. But yeah, I mean, Moore is the lock, as you said. It'd be between Gage and Bateman for me. But you can talk me into one more week of Bateman. And then
You're
after
always
that,
such a Gage guy, though. You always have been. It's always like okay. He's always like 8 points by the end of it all. Other than this is the one thing with him. I've been in a lot of Gage questions, and he did pretty solid against the Pats. In his last 4 weeks, he's had like 10, 12, 8. But he also has one complete and utter 0 in there, and that just always terrifies me.
Which probably lost me like $1 million, but it's fine.
That's the 1 week it was. I remember exactly what week it was. So yeah, that was a tough week. So that scares the shit out of me. I think Bateman has a little bit of a higher floor, probably a higher ceiling too. So I'm going Eli Moore, lock, Bateman as my next man there.
Giuseppe, my guys, happy Sunday. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. We did.
Boy, what's up, Giuseppe? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. We did indeed.
Giuseppe picked 2 of these: Mitchell, Sanders, Dylan, Gibson. Happy to.
Wow, a lot of good options here. I'm gonna roll. So I think all these guys play after 4, other than Sanders, and I love Sanders today. So I'm gonna get Sanders in here. Right now, it'd be Sanders and Gibson. If we don't get Aaron Jones, if he sits, then I would put Dylan above Gibson. But that's one we waited out for. So Mitchell, my last man up. Still some questions about whether his hand, like they're protecting it and he can't catch the ball very well right now. And that seems like it's going to cap his workload a little bit. So to me, I eliminate him and it comes down to Sanders, Dylan, or Gibson. I love Sanders matchup. You have to burn it at 1:00, but waiting it out for Dylan when it seems like Aaron Jones is probably going to play, I'd get Sanders in probably. What time does Gibson play? Is he 1:00 or 4?
Aren't they tomorrow night?
Or they might be Monday night.
Yeah,
I just know they're not like the first slate of games. All right. So they are tomorrow night. Yes. So yeah, I would get Sanders in, and then it comes down to whether Aaron Jones plays or not. If Aaron Jones is out, you go Dylan. If Aaron Jones is in, you go Gibson. That's how I play that one.
Sarno, what's up, boys? I've Godwin and Debo as locks. Need one of these. Half PPR, Deontay, Higgins, Moore.
Yeah, those guys are definitely locks. Deontay's always a lock for me too, though. And that's tough because the way Eli Moore is killing it, it makes it tough. But I would rank them Deontay, then Moore, then Higgins in that order. But I consider Deontay pretty much a lock every week too.
He's such a target hog. It's funny.
13 targets on 5 separate occasions, like exactly 13. That's crazy. And he's had 10 plus in all but 2 games this year. It's so good. In the matchup against Cincy, nothing scary at all about that. So yeah, I'm going Deontay, locking him in there. As good as Eli Moore has been. That's tough to bench him. I wish you could have all 4 of those guys in there, but we're going Deontay with those other 2 studs.
Giuseppe, Van Jefferson, or Jacoby Myers, half PPR?
I'm going to go Jacoby. Good matchup. Finally found the end zone. Tennessee most points allowed to receivers, and I think we're just going to smash them today, and he's going to have a decent game. Van's pretty sketchy to me still.
Giuseppe again, T. Higgins, LaVisca, or OBJ?
T. Higgins. Oh, yeah. T. Higgins is head and shoulders above both those guys. Again, OBJ could blow everyone out of the water. He could be the wide receiver 1 on the week, but I need to see that first. First came out was not all that impressive. I know it was only a few days with the team, but quitting on routes already looked like he was causing some dissension. I'm worried. I want to see that before I believe it, type of thing. So give me T. Higgins there.
Grind don't stop. Boston Scott or Foreman, full PPR?
Boston Scott, gross, but Boston Scott. I know the report. Foreman will get most of the carries. I think he's going to get game flowed out pretty quick, and it becomes a Hilliard type of day. I might put Hilliard above Boston Scott, though, if you have that option. I think Hilliard's going to catch like 7 to 8 balls today. So I do think he's a viable play. I'd have him above Boston Scott. But ultimately, if it's between those 2, I'd go Boston Scott.
Juan Pena, who for my tight end spot, Kittle or Pat Fry?
Man, I love Pat Fry, but you got to go Kittle. He is cooking right now. He's scoring touchdowns at a much higher clip than he ever has in his NFL career. I think he's up to 5 already, which is his season. That'd be a season high, a career high for him. I got to keep going Kittle there. As good as Fry is, would you stray CJ? Or are you sticking with Kittle?
I'd go with Kittle once again. Just ride the hot player right now. And even though Pat Fry has killed it with Ibron out, I'd still go Kittle right now.
Yeah, I'm leaning there too.
Sarno needs 2 receivers and a flex, half PPR. Claypool, Myers, Dylan, Judy, Higgins.
Sarno. I mean, again, the Dylan one is just so up in the air. Obviously, he'd be the best option here if we know Jones is sitting. So I'd like to leave that option available, even though, again, it seems likely Jones plays. So I'm kind of going into it with that mindset. So I would go Claypool. And then
Judy
what
Higgins.
time do the Steelers and Bengals play today? Are they 1
I
o'clock?
think they're at 1.
They should be. Yeah, that's a divisional matchup, East Coast.
Yeah,
I
1
imagine.
o'clock.
Yeah. That's tough then. With like Higgins, Myers, and Judy all kind of in the similar spot for me, I would probably get Judy in there. And then if Jones sits, you go Dylan, you swap him out. Oh, well, you need 2 receivers and the flex. Jesus, okay. So Judy's your flex. Claypool's in there. And then
Higgins?
I would probably go.
That's what I initially was looking at. But.
Yeah, I'd probably go T, and then you alternate either Judy or Dylan in the flex. So Myers is the one that's getting the bench here at that point, Sarno. But you'll see. Oh, we got a super chat. Our man, Mitch Chavez. Awesome. Mitch, always supporting the show. We really, really appreciate you, brother. Happy Thanksgiving.
Mitch Chavez, Saquon is officially active. Went with Wilson Thursday. Had Allen, Diggs, Hawk, and Bass play as well. 98 points going into today. What a Thursday.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson. I remember we talked about that on Thursday. I'm glad that one panned out big time, Mitch. Yeah, you had yourself quite a day. 98 points with a bunch of players still left. Oh, yeah, Mitch. That's awesome stuff. Let's get it indeed. Supporting the site without even having a question. We love you, man. Thank you so much for that, Mitch Chavez, and for everybody that's already sent us those super chats. It does go a really long way towards us achieving this dream of doing this full time. You guys are so appreciated. So thank you so much. All righty. Where we left off with Sarno just loading up the questions. Where did we leave off? I think we were here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, Chris Baharo, pick 1 standard league, Damian Harris, Moore, or Gordon.
I'm going Moore. I know the Wilson's the scaries. It is scary. Zach Wilson's horrible, but I'm going to stick out that out with Moore. Harris is close in the standard league too, but how could you bench Moore at this point? What would you go Moore over Harris?
Yeah, Harris. Just like with the Stevenson mess, like who the hell knows at this point. I know they are both getting a lot of touches, but right now he's falling into my bench.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So we're both going Moore there. A lot of good options for Stanley. A lot of touchdown scores there. And again, guys, that thumbs up does help us get out to so many more people. So with 48 here, let's continue to get those numbers up. It would greatly, greatly be appreciated.
Campanelli, full PPR, wide receiver, pick 1 of these. Bateman or Jamison Crowder. Already started Godwin, and he laid a goose egg.
Goodwin. Yeah.
Goodwin, and he laid a goose egg.
Yeah. Why did you have Goodwin in? I mean, I did. If he was here with us on Thursday, I did say, very deep Hail Mary, because he did have, 100 yards and a TD the week before. He was awful, though. I go Bateman. Jamison Crowder, he's got the floor. He's got 6 targets every game he's played, but that's kind of it, 50-ish yards. Whereas Bateman, maybe he goes crazy, gets deep for a touchdown. I'd go for Bateman, especially if you already have that goose egg.
You need the ceiling there. David Campanelli, full PPR. Running back, pick 2 of these. Oh, wait. Yeah, running back, pick 2. Jeff Wilson, Miles Gaskin, Aaron Jones, J-Rob, Patterson.
Locking in Patterson. And then J-Rob. Yeah, J-Rob and Patterson. Aaron Jones would obviously make that a little trickier, but I'm not going to wait that out this week. Certainly not Jeff Wilson, and Miles Gaskin is probably the worst starting running back in the NFL, despite the good matchup. But yeah, give me J-Rob, give me Patterson.
I don't know. CJ looks like a serial killer to me today. As he snapped after what Michigan did yesterday. A little bit.
Yeah.
I should have wore all black today. And just
you should have, exactly. A veil, like a funeral veil on your face. There's definitely a garbage bag of some body parts behind him. Big night for CJ going Dexter on some people last night.
Campanelli, standard flex, pick 1 of these. Keenan or Cordarrelle Patterson. I already have Devontae and Pittman going at receiver. Swift sucks. Not just my other running back.
Yeah, so you obviously playing Najee. I would go Keenan Allen over Patterson. As much as I just said, pretty much you have to lock in Patterson. Keenan, 12 targets in all but a couple games.
Yeah, I like Keenan a lot today.
So safe. So yeah, even though it's standard does make it a little different because you don't get those reception points. And Keenan, big part of his game is receptions, though. Ah, man. Cordarrelle is that big play artist. I'd probably still go Keenan, though. I'm going to go Keenan. He's so safe.
Holy beard.
Holy beard.
Someone has to have facial hair in this family. So
I usually have the thicker beard between us. I gave it a little trim today. You're coming in hot, CJ. That thing is.
I haven't trimmed in like a week and a half, maybe.
Look at that. That you got to just roll. Let that thing go. Get that thing going nuts. I want to see how you have a pretty thick beard. That thing should let it go.
Steven Hernandez, Higbee, or Hunter Henry, full PPR.
Ooh, I'd go Hunter Henry. Touchdown monster. Higbee's just been meh, so I'll go Hunter Henry.
Surprised he's still alive after yesterday's showing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Absolutely.
Didn't want to wake up today.
I wish I should have grabbed the cowbell from Pat's house and just rang it on the show for the the morning delight.
Campanelli, hey guys, let's get to drinking. I got a nice Alchemist Rapture ready to go.
That sounds delicious. I've never had the Rapture by Alchemist. I'm not planning to drink a single thing today.
No.
Of course, if
I have a nice cold brew, could have dropped some vodka in it, but I'm just hanging out right now. I don't need to get too emotional today.
No, it's I've had way too much. So the only way alcohol will touch these lips is D&D like pays us to chug super beers or what super chats. That's for a beer chug, and even then I might have to turn it down today. I'm in. I do not want alcohol at all right now.
Evan Bus, the playoff push. Let's go.
Sure is, Bus. Great to see you, brother. Welcome to the show. Let's go, indeed. Where are you standing right now, Bus? You in your playoff hunt? Let's get in there.
Grind, don't stop. No Kamara. Start two of these. Ty Johnson, Foreman, or Scott. Why does everyone have this trio? So gross.
Terrible trio. I would probably go Ty Johnson and Scott of these options. I'm not big into Foreman myself. He is really all they have other than Hilliard. So I like Hilliard more than all three of these guys. But I would go Johnson and Scott myself. What do you think? It's gross, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think I like Ty Johnson the most of these. I guess I would go Scott. I mean, you're very down on Foreman, which is like making me rethink it a little bit. But yeah, I'll go Ty Johnson, definitely Scott, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Foreman has had a couple big runs. I don't know. The Pats, I see them.
Their front seven was so dominant last week.
Yeah, exactly. I would not want to be playing the running back. They'll be getting Hilliard into space, in my opinion, versus Foreman. Give me Johnson, give me Scott. Who knows? Maybe Foreman could surprise. He's had some big games in the past, but I'm avoiding that. And I like Scott. He's had some big games. There's no Jordan Howard. I think both those running backs are viable.
Bill Jaguar, full PPR, Melvin Gordon or Hilliard?
I'd go Gordon. The full PPR does make it closer, but Gordon's been rolling. He's got a touchdown in like every game but two at this point. So I'm going to go Melvin Gordon and hope he just continues to roll the scoring there.
Shades, standard scoring, a receiver and a flex. Damian Harris, Mitchell, Higgins, Judy, Elijah Moore.
I'm going to go Eli Moore as the receiver, and then the flex, probably Damian, maybe Mitchell. I'd probably Mitchell, actually, because the lack of receiving is not going to kill him this week. And Harris, it's a tougher matchup against Tennessee and timeshare. I'll probably go Eli Mitchell here. What do you think?
I was looking at the two receivers. I'd probably go Judy and Moore.
Even in standard, though?
Yeah.
Touchdowns.
I don't know. Yeah, that is true. Judy's more of like a between the 20s guy. I don't know. I just don't love the running backs, but Mitchell, I do have a few in my lineup, so I'll roll with you there.
Yeah, let's go Eli Mitchell. He's been running that ball like crazy this year. That's where I lean. I mean, I don't hate T. Higgins. I really don't. Like he's a solid play against Pittsburgh. No Joe Hayden today, so banged up. Like not a good secondary already, and now they're a little bit more banged up. I don't hate Higgins, and he is a viable touchdown threat. So if you wanted to go two receivers, I personally would go Higgins above Judy. I would go Moore and Higgins, but it's close. It's close. I go Moore and Mitchell myself. That's how I would rank this one. That's a tough one though. That's a good question. Good question indeed. I'm just making sure my ratings reflect what I'm saying. Where do I have Judy? Yeah, I have Judy 28, Higgins 25. That seems about right. So we're going Moore, Mitchell, but if you wanted to go two receivers, it would be Higgins. Had enough of E. Sanders. Yeah, he's fucking lately. He's been just absolutely useless. He probably has one or two more good games in him the rest of the season, but I don't want to keep trying to figure that out. He's cuttable in my opinion.
Steve Hernandez, PPR flex, Melvin Gordon, Judy, Ayuk, Kareem Hunt.
I would go Ayuk. Is it just one of these guys?
Yeah, just one, I believe.
Oh, that's tough. I'd probably go Ayuk, though. I'm feeling he's back. I think he's good. A little bit riskier, though. So if you wanted to go safer, Melvin Gordon's floor is pretty nice. Like, comes down to the Gordon or Ayuk for me. I'm going to roll the dice on Ayuk for the upside myself. But, if you want Melvin Gordon, would not fault you at all. That's definitely a viable play today.
So Pringle, what's up, fellas? Gronk or Javonte Williams at the flex?
I love Gronk today. Tampa Bay is a complete pass funnel defense of the Colts. I think he's rolling every time he's played a full game. He's been monster. So I'm going to go Gronk over Javonte, but I own Javonte, and I just can't get excited about him yet till he shakes Gordon. So that's how I feel. What do you think, CJ?
No, I'm going Gronk here. I know Javonte Williams is turned on, but it's just I don't like like committees. Just there's something about it where my brain's just like I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. So yeah, I'm going Gronk for a touchdown.
I need him to separate a little bit more. Yeah. Gronk will score at least one today.
Matty Mateo, happy Sunday, fellas. Full PPR need 2 of these running backs between J-Rob, Patterson, Hunt, Ty Johnson.
I go the first 2, Patterson and J-Rob, a tier or 2 above the other guys. Hunt is right in that conversation if and when he's fully back, but I always like to, guy coming off the IR, I typically like to play it safe and wait that one out.
Grind him stop. Tony stay injured. Not sure if he's worth the roster spot. I have also thought of that too. I have him and Shepard on one league, and I'm just like, these guys are a mess, and they're just taking up space at this point.
They do. They are space eaters right now. I guess the only argument at this point to keep him would be he's so talented, and maybe Freddie Kitchens, anybody's better than Jason Garrett. I kind of want to see how Kitchens uses these guys once they're back and healthy. But if you got something out there that's intriguing and you want to cut him, he's not a must hold for me. But I do want to see how Freddie Kitchens uses these guys. So I think he's worth the roster spot, but it would depend on who's out there and, all that good stuff. Super chat from Charlie Menelakis. Thank you so much, brother. Really, really appreciate it. What do we got?
All right, fellas, start 2 of these. Start 2, sit 1 dilemmas today. I need to choose between OBJ, Bateman, Damian Harris, and then Hollywood, Ayuk, Higgins. So start 2, the first group, sit 1 on the second group. I'm guessing.
Sit 1. Okay, so need to choose.
Oh, is it both start 2 on both?
I think you're just saying 2 start sit dilemmas. I don't know. I'll rank them for you, Charlie, so that way you can, know. Did he give us a scoring? Nah. I was going to say that scoring does matter here because Damian Harris takes a little bit of a hit in PPR, but I still put him above either of those wide receivers. I'd go Harris, then Bateman, then OBJ. My rankings of those. I'm still nervous. I'm skeptical to pull the trigger on OBJ. Could he? Again, I want to keep saying, yes, of course you could have a 70-yard bomb. You could have a monster like Robert Woods workload and just be Robert Woods reincarnated. Yes, all of that is possible. I'm definitely in the camp of I want to see it before I actually go out and use him and trust him, especially when you have 2 pretty good options instead. So I'd go Harris, then Bateman, then OBJ for the first one. And then I would rank the next one exactly how you typed it in. Hollywood first, then Ayuk, then Higgins. Is how I would rank that one. Cleveland secondary is nothing special. Hollywood's been a monster, 19 or more points in all but 3 games. And one of his misses, he should have had 35. I know I've cited that stat a million times, but it's true. Like, to me, he's not one that should be in most sit-start questions. I love Hollywood. I am very close, though. I really think he's a beast. I mean, you have 3 of my top 5 options here. Top 25 options, rather. But I would rank them Hollywood, then Ayuk, then Higgins myself. Did you feel any difference on any?
No, this is pretty straightforward.
I thought, based on how we talked today, I feel like we were ranked pretty similarly on those.
We're getting a lot of like similar player questions.
Yeah, it is. We had a ton of Gallup versus Ayuk on Thursday, and I said Ayuk for most of them, and Gallup had a pretty good day. But I still think Ayuk could outscore what he did. We'll see.
Mateo also need full PPR tight end with Kelsey on the bye, Gronk or Freiermuth.
Kelsey, Gronk, and Muth. That's like 3 top 5 options. Muth right outside there when Ibron's out, but still really good. I would go Gronk over Freiermuth myself, though. Damn, that's pretty good options, though. I wonder if the trade deadline's passed because I'd be looking to move something there, but I go Gronk over Freiermuth.
With Mahomes and Hill out, I'm probably taking a loss this week. Hey, that's not the way to think. Dylan is facing Rams and might be playing with Jones. Montgomery let me way down. AB and AJ both injured. Jeez, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, man.
It'll all be okay. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. The bye week blues. I don't even hate that when you have like a nice stack that gets it done for you most weeks. I guess Mahomes hasn't really been that this year, but in general, I'm not opposed to having a ton on one team. I don't usually look at bye weeks at all when I draft. And it sucks on weeks like this, but maybe Kurt, just let us know, who you're going. Clearly you're going to have to try to toss in some upside. So we can try to give you, MVS off the waiver wires, right? Like, could he go for another 70-yard bomb? Maybe. That might be the type of play you got to look at with these types of injuries.
Allison, hi, full PPR, Higbee or MVS for the flex?
Well, speaking of MVS, I would probably go him here. Higbee, has he had a good game like this entire year? I think he had a touchdown in week 1, and that was it. Like, I don't know that he's done anything.
He had some big-time drops last week, too, on Monday night.
Yeah.
I also had this over in receptions, which, killed me. But
if Alan Lazard, I know he was out last week. Is he back this week? Not that that's, a huge deal, but it does open up some snaps.
I have him in our Roto Street League, and I saw he was questionable, so I think Just says he's questionable. I think it seems like he will be playing.
Yeah, I don't know if that changes much for me. So yeah, I would probably go MVS and just go for that deep ball. I'm looking at Higbee's game logs here, and 6.8, 10, 3.6. Yeah, he's done nothing. Higbee has no upside, so I'll go for the dice roll of MVS there. That's my opinion, at least.
She done. Thoughts on Curtis Samuel? I lost CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, so I grabbed him off waivers.
I really don't want to start him. I don't hate having him on the bench, and let's see what happens. But they're saying he could play, would likely be in a limited role even if he is in there. That's sketchy to trust. He's a big play guy. He could make something happen, but I would much rather have something else like Nick Westbrook. He might get taken out by the Pats, but at least he'll be in there for every play.
Steven Hernandez, defense 49ers or Denver or Seahawks? This isn't really relevant, but how fucking awful are the Seahawks?
Yeah, the worst team to watch in football. It's so annoying because of how fun they used to be. It's just the worst team in the football to watch. Who do the 49ers have? The Vikes. I don't like any of these options, to be honest. I mean, if I had to pick one, probably the Seahawks facing the worst QB. The old Monday Night Hope, I guess. But I picked like the Bengals. They're out there in a ton
honestly,
of leagues.
I'm starting Houston.
Yeah, I love the Houston stream this week. They're out there in a ton of leagues. I would look for Houston first. They're in my top 5. They've got 16 plus in 2 of their last 3. They get Zach Wilson. I love that play. So I'd look for Houston first, Steven. If they're not an option, I like Cincinnati out there in a lot of leagues. I think their D-line could destroy the Steelers. They have a pretty decent line that can generate some pressure. I could see Big Ben making a couple mistakes. So I would look to those all first. And if none of them are available, I guess the Seahawks, but I don't feel great about that.
Grind on stop. DJ Dallas, is there any upside there?
Upside, that's a stretch. Could he be usable? Sure. Could he catch 3 to 5 balls and maybe find the end zone? Yes. I don't think there's like a 20-point ceiling or anything crazy, but could he get to the 12-ish? Maybe. He's viable in a desperate situation. That's kind of how I view him.
Joel Abutin, Miami D or Houston D?
I'd go Houston. Houston against Zach Wilson, I think. That's where I would lean.
Andres Perez, Happy PR, Kareem Hunt, or Javonte Williams?
I'd go Javonte. I'd wait this one out with Hunt and 2 committees. Give me the guy that is actually healthy right now. That's kind of where I'd lean on this one. Mitch
Chavez, what's up, Wolves? Good luck, everyone.
Good luck to you too, brother. The nicest human being in the world, and I love it.
Kurt, I feel like we're therapists with him right now. Yes. I dropped my kicker to get Miles Sanders to cover Dylan in my flex. But I need my kicker back as soon as possible. Dylan's facing a tough defense today too. Thinking of dropping Dylan now and starting Sanders.
Is that really? I mean, this must be like a 10 or 18 league to be able to cut either one of those guys. I love both of them on my roster. I'd rather start Sanders today, because we don't know what's going to happen with Dylan. We don't know if Aaron Jones is playing. If he's not, I'd rather have Dylan, but I'd rather get Sanders in there. I would wait this one out if you can in at 4:00. If you're killing the opponent, you don't even need a kicker, then don't pick up a kicker. If you're desperate and you the kickers, or if you're getting killed and a kicker's not going to make a difference, don't pick up a kicker either. But if so, and you have to drop Dylan, I guess you could. But I would want to hold on to Dylan. He's not somebody I want to cut. So I don't know if there's anyone else you can cut, Kurt. But that's how I.
Who from my receiver 2 spot? Moore, Anderson, Landry, Galladay, or Westbrook?
Oh, it's definitely Moore. Yeah, Moore's head and shoulders above the rest of these options. Thanks again, Steve Michaels, for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Mike Clay, Tony Jones was a killer. Yes,
he was a bag of shit. Yeah, awful play. I mean, again, 16 carries. You think he'd get something out of that, but no, he was just pathetic.
Mike Clay, Bateman, Myers, Hilliard, Aaron Jones, need a receiver and a flex.
I would go for the receiver. I'd go Myers. For the flex, I think is there any? So you can go Aaron Jones, and then if he doesn't play, you could go Bateman tonight. So I would go Myers at receiver, and then wait it out for Aaron Jones. And if he plays, great, use him. And if not, then you can just go with Bateman.
Mike Clay, flex, Ayuk, Judy, Mitchell.
I kind of prefer Ayuk out of those options myself. What do you think?
I'm a Judy guy today.
There you go. So CJ goes Judy, I go Ayuk. Let's see, Mike. Let us know what you're leaning.
Powder, I watch most of the analysis from all fantasy football streams. I'm in 11 money leagues in real life. That's a lot. That's too much. My like 3 or 4 is like gives me stress on Sundays.
I'm in 7 and it's a lot. Yeah, that's
It's not even. I'm like, oh my god, I hope I win. It's like, oh, like well, that's too like when we go through news and stuff. So it's like there's
I gotta go
times
check. I'm like checking the lineup right now that I'm like scared that I forgot something. As we
he
speak.
said you guys are my favorite go-to, best vibes out there. Thanks, guys. Much
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. I like the admitted no life too. I'm in 11 leagues, have no life. Nice, Powder. You're the fucking man, though. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, brother.
Campanelli, pick one of these defenses. Titans, nope. Jags. Actually, I'm playing the Jags in DraftKings.
Yeah, that's not.
Or Miami, or Seahawks too.
Again, if Houston's there, I'd go them. But out of these guys, I think I'd go the Jags. Like Atlanta's that bad. Then you get Patterson back. None of these are good, though. Like none of these are good options. The Titans are the best actual defense, but the Pats are rolling right now. I'd probably go Jags and hope for the best. I don't trust Miami against Cam. Cam can put up points, so I'm gonna go Jags.
Riley, half PPR. Patterson, Freeman, Stevenson.
I'm going Patterson definitely. If he's in, and he is, we play him.
Vision Assault, Hilliard or Ty Johnson, full PPR.
Full PPR. I'm leaning Hilliard. It's close. They're both kind of pass catchers, but I have Hilliard just a couple spots higher. What do you think, CJ?
I'm going Ty Johnson there. I feel like he's guaranteed more touches in general. They do both catch the ball, but I think he'll get more carries too.
All righty. Let us know where you go, Vision Assault. I go Hilliard. CJ goes Ty. Let us know where you go.
Sarah Riley, half PPR. Need 2 of these. Waddle, Moore, Claypool, Hollywood.
Wow, good options indeed. I go Moore and Marquise myself. Both those guys inside my top 20 wide receivers. The other ones are right around my top 25 or so. But I have those two, Elijah Moore and Waddle's a really good option too, though. But I have Marquise 15, Moore 17, Waddle 19. So it's all very close. But I'm going to personally go Moore and Marquise. Would you lean the same way? Or
that's the first thing I was thinking of. Yeah, definitely Hollywood first, Moore second. Waddle, did you know Waddle's like on pace to break like all these rookie receiving records?
Yeah, I think he leads the NFL, and it's either he leads it in receptions or it's like
he has like 5. Nearly like 80 or something.
Yeah, he's ran more routes than anybody in the NFL so far. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, he's definitely a viable play, but I'd go Moore and Marquise myself.
Zane Roche, full PPR, flex, Cooks, Elijah Moore, Miles Sanders. Who should I start?
Ooh, Sanders versus Moore is tough. I'd probably lean Moore, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Moore.
Yeah, the upside's there. You got to just keep riding this hot hand. You got to.
Junior, half PPR, flex, Elijah Mitchell or Elijah Moore?
Must be Elijah Moore week, baby. What could go wrong? Zach Wilson at quarterback. I'm going Moore, though. I can't steer people away from a guy that's been putting up 20 a week these last few weeks, and a good matchup. With no Corey Davis, last man standing at wide receiver here. I'm going Moore. I feel pretty good about it too. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, you're talking me into it. Usually when this happens, he sucks.
I know. There's always like one guy we get a million questions on, and never it's always the one that falls flat. But I just don't see how he fails unless Wilson's that bad. He could be.
It's Jeff Wilson and Bateman week. Mike Reed, hey guys, I have both Dylan and Aaron Jones. What do I do if they both play?
I go Aaron Jones. I mean, you go the starter. Unless you guys watch the news there. If they say Jones is going to play, but only have a minimal role just to get his feet wet, type of thing, like you never know. But as long as it's just no news other than Jones is active, I'd go Aaron Jones. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like we'll get some rap sheet report at some time where he says like, "Oh, they'll ride the hot hand." We're going to limit his carries today, blah blah. Even though they usually are lying about that, but yeah, I mean, you have to go there, Aaron Jones.
Absolutely. And we have passed the 12 o'clock threshold, which means another opportunity for me to be a whore and beg for your thumbs up. Please, people, it does help us out. So if you're like what you're hearing here, you want to keep getting these questions answered, mean the world to just a nice, free, easy way. Hit that thumbs up. Help us get out to more people. Share us out in any groups you're in, all that good stuff. We mean the world. Thank you again for being here. Wolfpack, happy Thanksgiving weekend. Let's continue on. Week 12, baby.
Jimmy Pop. Hey, gents, Russ or Burrow, and then Patterson, Stevenson, or Hunt.
Not trusting Russ. It's the number one matchup for QBs, and I don't care. I can't trust him at all right now. Give me Burrow. Good matchup. I think that game could go back and forth. I'm liking that one a lot. And then I go Patterson over these other options, Jimmy. So Burrow and Patterson myself.
Blaze CJ with the mean beard. Hey, I like
Yeah.
all these comments. I love it. PPR, Cooks or Pittman in the flex?
Yeah, you got to keep the beard, man. Absolutely. I love Pittman today. Easy matchup. Tampa Bay definitely more susceptible in the secondary than they are the run. So yeah, give me Pittman. I think that game becomes, they're going to need Pittman. And that's kind of the only time. Whenever they've needed to lean on Pittman, he's delivered big fantasy numbers. The only rub with it is sometimes they just have Jonathan Taylor get 30 carries and 5 touchdowns like last week. Then they don't need Pittman. I don't see this being a situation. I think Tampa Bay's having no problem putting up points. I think they're going to need chase points, and Pittman's their best option to do so. So give me Michael Pittman today.
Steven Hernandez, Henry or Ingram?
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Good.
I lean Henry. You're in Ingram a lot. Where would you draw the line? Do you think you'd go Hunter Henry over Ingram, or are you going to keep going?
I like Henry. I think it's Mac just loves him so much around the red zone, and Ingram has also just made my hair fall out. So I'd go Henry.
The reason for CJ going bald, Evan Ingram.
so he's been my tight end for the past 4 years.
Exactly. I go Hunter Henry, though. The guy's been a touchdown machine, so I keep rolling that. As good as the narrative for Ingram is better than pretty much any tight end of the league, and it's still Evan Ingram, who's done absolutely nothing for 5 years. So I'm going to go for Hunter Henry there.
Duncan Clancy, Jerry Jeudy, or Chase Claypool?
I'm going to go the 28 and 29. I have them right next to each other. I'll go Jeudy here. What do you think?
I'm sticking with Jeudy. I'm on Jeudy this week.
Yeah.
DraftKings everywhere.
This would be one if it is full PPR. Jeudy definitely gets the nod. If it's half or standard, Claypool does get a little closer and more touchdown equity. But I go for Jeudy here myself. I have him one spot higher in the rankings. And I know I've already clamored for likes, but I am seeing some new names out here, which is awesome. If you want to continue to support us, we want to get to 2K by a few more days by the end of the month. I don't know if we'll hit that goal quite at this point, but 2K by the end of the season would be incredible. And any new people that have not subbed yet on YouTube would mean the world if you consider getting us over there to keep helping the site grow. We've had some really great growth, awesome new people coming on into the Wolfpack this year. We'd love to keep those numbers going upwards. So if you're new here, we're live, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Turn that bell on, know exactly when we get going, answer questions every single time we're live. Would be so appreciated to keep helping us grow. So those
even if our Facebook group could hop over to YouTube and subscribe, even if you want to stay on Facebook, that's fine.
Yeah,
but the
help us boost those numbers. Absolutely.
Ward Willis, full PPR, Claypool or Van Jefferson?
I'm going Claypool there. Two bigger play threats. Give me the better one, and that's Claypool.
Billy Benfield, Elijah Moore, AJ Dillon in the flex.
Really wish we had a clear-cut, locked-in Aaron Jones report, because if he's not playing, A.J. Dillon I would prefer. But as of right now, I think you got to just get Elijah Moore in there. He is so damn good. That's where I'm rolling.
Us, Elijah Moore, Miles Sanders, Cordarrelle Patterson, full PPR.
Damn. That's all very, very good options. I think I'm going to go with Eli Moore.
Two of the three are good options.
Yeah. Who's bad?
Middle.
Sanders? Oh, no. Sanders is bad. It's a great matchup. No Jordan Howard. They've been pounding the rock lately. Miles Sanders is legit. Yeah, Jordan Howard officially inactive. That came out today. Corey Davis inactive. A few of them just popped up. So, yeah, nothing shocking there. I think I go Eli Moore. I got to keep riding that hot hand. He does have the lowest floor, though. I would say that. So Cordarrelle, I would probably rank them more Cordarrelle Sanders. But if you wanted to go a little safer, Patterson definitely has a little bit of a higher floor than the other two guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I would list them the exact same. I feel like we're on the same page a lot today. I don't like it.
I know we're too much on the same page for sure. But hey, let's see how it rolls.
Seamus Timberlake, the best fantasy football player in America.
Truly.
Hey, boys. Happy Football Sunday.
Happy Football Sunday indeed to you, brother. Good luck. I think you're texting me about Nick Westbrook or whatever. You got some crap you're rolling around it, but no, it works out. I should just play whoever Seamus ends up going, because every single time it'll be like some bum fifth string receiver and he catches 2 touchdowns. It's crazy.
Okay, Jagira needs to beat my older brother and shut him up this week. Half PPR, pick 2 of these: Stevenson, Boston Scott, DJ Dallas. That's I go with the first 2, I think.
Going to be an uphill climb with these running backs, but I would go the first 2. Yeah, Scott and Stevenson. That's where I'm leaning. Yeah, Scott and Stevenson. Hope for a couple TDs from the boys.
Vision assault. Hilliard, Gaskin, Ty Johnson, full PPR.
I would go Gaskin here. As gross as he is, as bad of a player as he is, he's still seeing, 75% of the carries and all the targets. They even made Ahmed like a healthy scratch, even though they have no other running backs a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I'm going to keep riding Gaskin. He's got the best equity on the team, like just such a monopoly on touches.
Aladdin, Collins or Ty Johnson?
I go Ty Johnson. I can't go Collins anymore. That experiment has fully gone for me. Thanks again, Katie. We really, really appreciate the super chat. And just as a reminder, we'd wait on Jones and go for Dallas. I think it's worth it. The gap between Scott and Dallas isn't enough to justify Scott going in the lineup. Waited on Aaron Jones.
Preble, I think he was talking to himself from before. Gotcha. I don't know what it was.
Ty Johnson, DJ.
Denny Jennings, what's up, fellas? Thankful for Knox to replace Kelsey this week. Couldn't have gone.
That's exactly what I did, and it was beautiful. 16 points. Loved every second of it.
Tomas, buenos dias, amigos. Boston Scott, Coleman, or Jeff Wilson for my running back 2. Full PPR. Need 6 points from one of these guys. That's it.
I would go for Scott. I think he's the safest option. Coleman, you might get 7 carries for 25 yards and no score. Jeff Wilson, now that Mitchell's back, he wasn't even good without Mitchell. Never mind with Mitchell back. So give me Scott. He's had a couple big games these last few weeks. He's involved as a receiver. Gets a lot of goal line looks, even though he's tiny. I'm going to go for Scott there.
Apex with Ayuk looking like he's back. Should I go with him against Minnesota or go with Waddle, who's also had some good games recently?
I would go Ayuk. Waddle's really tough. The ceilings with Ayuk, just because he's getting deep and whatnot. Waddle, he's going to get 12 targets, which is lovely. Most of them are for 2 yards, so that sucks. But I'm going to go. I got to go Waddle. He's been just such a volume.
I feel so much more safe with Waddle than Ayuk.
Definitely. It's like the classic Ayuk week where it's like we finally all start trusting him again. He's going to have 3 catches for 20 yards, and all of us will hate him again. I'm worried about that. I'm not worried about you're going to get 70 yards out of Waddle. It's just a matter of does he score or not. But I'm liking Waddle there.
Am I more flex 2 of these? Foreman, Damian Harris, Goddard, Bateman, full PPR.
I go Harris and I go Goddard. I don't ever like to do double tight ends, but Goddard 30% target share, decent enough matchup against the Giants today. So I'm going to go Harris and Goddard there.
Giuseppe, Javonte or Eli Moore, PPR?
Eli Moore for me. The matchup is pretty good for Javonte, but I just feel way better about Eli.
For my Moore, and then in my other league, flex one of these: Foreman, Devonta Freeman, McKissick, Tim Patrick, full PPR with bonuses for 40 to 50 yard touchdowns.
I'd go Freeman. He's been just cooking it. And, last week, Lat Murray was back, and still Freeman saw 20 plus touches compared to just 12 for Murray. He's the clear-cut guy and one of the better run offenses in the league. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go Devonta Freeman there.
Also, Kaiser, full point PPR, Goddard or Gronk?
Oh, Gronk all day. Love Gronk. I do like Goddard a lot today, but Gronk ahead of all but 2-3 tight ends.
Dion Wall Road, Waddle, Claypool, Patterson. And then for quarterback, I also have Newton. Would you start anyone else besides Cam, off the waiver wire?
Probably not. I like Cam. He's my QB 6 or 7 this week, so there's very few above him, Dion. In terms of those other guys, if it's just 1, it's Patterson. If it's 2, it's Patterson and Waddle. So I rank them Patterson, Waddle, Claypool, if that helps you out.
Or am I more? Do I roll out Patterson today? And yes, he is playing.
He's playing. He's in. That's how I feel about him. He's a guy I just can't bench in 99% of situations.
Eric Choi, bench one of these. Javonte, Miles Sanders, Barkley, Aaron Jones, Dylan. Well, you would just bench one of the Packers.
Yeah, that's exactly where I lean. Benching one of the Packers. You're not going to start them both. So I bench Dylan if Jones plays. And then obviously if Jones doesn't, he's benched for you. So that's kind of how I play that one, Eric.
Joel Aulette, do I ride the super cam train again this week or roll up Matty Stafford? Did you see that report, by the way, at Stafford?
Just came out as we were going live, right? He's got chronic
No, it's like throwing shoulder, back, ankle, wrist. It's like a Big Ben's injury report.
That is pretty brutal. This is a really tough one because I have him 6 and 7, Stafford 6, Cam 7. The injury report on Stafford, as you were just saying, literally exactly what you picture, the Big Ben with ice all over his entire body, type of thing. Doesn't sound good. They're coming off a bye, so I guess it's probably as healthy as he's going to be this year. shootout style game against Green Bay. But last week it was definitely a shootout against the Vikings. The week before, Seahawks didn't hold up their end of the bargain, and it was one of the worst games I've ever watched. Cam is, dare I say, safer than Stafford, which is nuts. I would probably go Cam. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Stafford in that shootout today is kind of.
Yeah, I think this week I go Stafford and see how he looks, and then I don't know. Rest of the season could be Cam, which is crazy to think of, but
Yeah. I go Stafford. Let's get that shootout.
I know my Stafford MVP bet looks worse by the week.
I
I felt so confident about it. Yeah.
But the Packers are also down. They're both, we already knew the number one corner was out, but they're now down Kevin King, their second corner too. So I think Stafford has some juice today. I would roll him.
10-win Elijah Moore over Eli Mitchell.
We got a lot of that one, Moore versus Mitchell. And I keep saying Moore. I feel like that's just the higher upside, and with no Corey Davis, maybe even a decent floor play. I really like Eli Moore. We got a star in our hands here. Let's continue to ride that.
Jair, Foreman or Freeman, and then Thielen or Devonta Smith.
I go Freeman, definitely above Foreman, and then I go Thielen versus Smith. I love them both, but I do think Thielen's a little bit safer. So I'm gonna go Thielen there, but it's close. Those two are really neck and neck for me.
Kurt, keep talking it up, guy. picked up E Moore for Hill and AJ Brown. So I really hope Zach Wilson is smart enough to see Moore as a playmaker to look for. Picked up Cam to cover Mahomes. I need all ceilings reached.
I think you picked some really good, high ceiling options. All those Moore and Cam are great type of fill-ins with a huge boom upside. So, as you say here, Kurt, fantasy gods, hear my prayer. I love it. Those are two players that I think will be very viable to hear the prayer. I think both are great plays.
Danny Jennings, Gaskin, or Dontrell Hilliard?
I'd probably go Gaskin there. Safer workload. Denny, anytime you ask about Gaskin, we know it never works. So I'm going Gaskin, but full caveat is Although I do think, isn't it even in odd weeks? One of them he blows up. I think on evens he typically blows up. So I feel a little bit better about him there. It's not a bad matchup for the guy. I go that.
Auto, Curtis Samuel or Jacoby Myers?
Oh, Jacoby. I can't trust Curtis this week. Not yet, at least. Thank you again, Mitch, for your super chat. We greatly, greatly appreciate it, brother.
Gosh, what up, fellas? Happy Football Sunday. Always great to be here. Hope everyone's had a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks so much. I love the positivity of the Wolf Pack. We do have for the most part, there's very few assholes that come in weekly. We have a pretty nice, welcoming, awesome group. So you guys are the best.
Aiden Delmanian, Patterson or Javonta, half PPR?
I'd go Patterson. I feel pretty good about Patterson. He's facing the Jags, and he's really disappointed us once this entire year. I like Patterson a lot.
Kurt, only question is Eagles D or Bucks D? After seeing Taylor go off last week, I'm pretty nervous putting the Bucks against them today.
Yeah, I'd rather go Eagles. They get the Giants. Anytime you get Daniel Jones, and I feel like the Eagles, they're not a great defense, but when they turn it over, it's always a touchdown. Slay's had 2 or 3 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Eagles there. I think that's a good spot.
Speaking of them, that's who I'm picking today in my Survivor, and I hate it because I only go home teams away divisional game. I fucking hate it. But there's 32 teams left now after Dallas lost.
Oh shit, really? And you didn't have Dallas going, huh? That's
I
sick.
used them a few weeks ago.
Oh
yeah.
God. Is there any other options? Anything safer?
Well, I also there's some of them I'm keeping. I know I have you to get there, but I still have the Bills, but they're week 16, 17 is I think they're at home against the Falcons and then home against the Jets, so I can use them later if I get there. I know I just need to pick this week was really tough. There's Patriots had the highest spread at 5.5. It's up now to 7. But the rest
Do
of the
you have
spreads.
The Pats still left?
No, Pats I picked against the Jets or something.
This would be a good week for the Pats for sure.
I know it's tough. And also, eventually, I eventually need to pick some shitty teams. So
Freddie Kitchens, man, he's gonna come for your ass today.
I was looking at the Falcons, but
the Eagles are cooking right now. I say Falcons, Jags, but I don't know. Out of all those crap teams, I do think that the Eagles are a decent bet. They've been cooking right now.
Yeah.
Good, run game, but that's scary. But I don't hate the play. The Giants suck. So.
Yeah, nervous. Tyler Lowe, Rashad Bateman, Elijah Moore, Judy, or OBJ. Pick one of those.
I go Eli Moore here. I have him a tier above the rest of these guys. Judy's the next closest, and the other two are a tier below both those guys. But I go Eli Moore there.
Yash Patel, AJ Dillon, or Ty Johnson in the flex?
I go.
I'd probably go Ty.
I don't know about that. If Jones doesn't play, Dillon is a smash, and even if he does, like this is one I like similar to Jimbo's, where it's like can you pick up DJ Dallas and then start him? You might even start AJ Dillon above those guys, anyways. Like honestly, he
was already seeing some touches.
Dallas.
He's been seeing like really good touches even when Jones is in the lineup.
Right. Yeah. I kind of just like going AJ Dillon here. Because even with Jones in the lineup, like you said, he was seeing a lot of receiving work, surprisingly. So that's where I lean. I'm gonna go Dillon here.
Marcos Valdez-Scantling, half PPR, flex, Dillon, Patterson, Freeman, or T. Higgins. Also Panthers D or Texans D.
I'm gonna go Patterson, and then the defense is a tough one here, but I kind of like the Texans against Zach Wilson. I think I'm going to go there. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going the Texans in my big league, so I'll roll with you there.
Yeah, I'd let it roll.
Jazzy Jeff, I think. Stafford or Wilson?
Stafford. I can't go Russell Wilson right now. I'm going to go Stafford.
He sucks. David Campanelli, full PPR, flex, pick one of these, Aaron Jones or DJ Dallas, and then Hilliard, Crowder, Chenault, Noah Fant, Gaskin.
Gaskin is a little intriguing here. I'd probably rate out the Aaron Jones, DJ Dallas situation, but I don't know. Gaskin's not in a bad spot at all against the Panthers. I'd probably go I don't know. Do you have any strong leanings on this?
Full PPR. I think I'll go Gaskin.
I would do here?
I think I would go Gaskin.
I actually don't hate. So I would probably wait out Aaron Jones because I don't hate it, especially in full PPR. Noah Fant gets a Chargers team that's really bad against the tight end. They're like fourth worst. So I think he's a viable play. I would like if Aaron Jones isn't in, instead of going to DJ Dallas, I'd go to Noah Fant. I think that's how I'd play this one. I really don't mind Noah Fant at all today.
Yeah.
I think he could find the end zone, no doubt.
Random stop. Unfortunately, Hilliard was claimed, so I'm just stuck with Boston Scott and Ty Johnson.
Yeah, I like Ty Johnson just a little bit more than Boston Scott then.
Jack Tomansik, Cam or Stafford?
Gotten that one a couple times. I am going to go Stafford. I think that game has a great chance to shoot out. So I'm going to go for that one, but it's close. It's really close. It's again 6 and 7 for me, so it's close as it can be. But I'm going Stafford.
Daniel Holland, Bateman or Boyd, full PPR.
I never go Boyd. You know this. I'm going Bateman there.
Random stop. Any chance Chase Edmonds comes back strong rest of the season?
I mean, it's a good offense. So could he? Sure. I do think it's kind of the James Conner show, and Edmonds will work in for some receiving work. But there's, of course, how long has James Conner ever stayed healthy? This is the longest it's happened. So he's I hate to say overdue, but at some point he's probably going to miss some time, and Edmonds could go crazy. So, yeah, he has a good chance to be a stretch run hero. Yeah, absolutely.
Viverine, should I start Aaron Jones over Gaskin? I also have Hilliard.
We've gotten that one a few times. It's like I'd probably go Gaskin and just let it go and get your guy in. I don't know. Is there is he? What if he doesn't play? Because if he doesn't, Hilliard plays at 1. So is it DJ Dallas? I don't know. I'd probably go Gaskin in that case.
Random stop traded so much value for Kamara. With him being out, it's ruined my playoff chances.
Oh no, yeah, that's a tough one. It's like always nice to get a stud and consolidate some good depth into one monster. But if that monster goes down, it can really hurt.
Steve Hernandez, Hunter Henry, or Ingram?
I'm going Henry. Again, that Ingram script is really a great narrative for him today, but I don't buy it.
Grinds asking many chance Kamara returns after this short week against Dallas.
It doesn't. Their team. I feel like their playoff hopes are starting to dwindle, if not completely erased by now. I think they take it. I wouldn't be shocked to see him get shut down, to be honest. Like it was an MCL sprain, which is usually 4 to 6 weeks. I was surprised he was even practicing. I don't think they rush this back at all. I don't think so. No, my guess would be a no, but I don't know.
Who wins straight up, Bengals or Steelers?
That's a pretty good one. I like this divisional matchup today. Straight up, I would probably say Bengals. Who's the home team there? I think Bengals are home, right?
Yeah.
I lean home. But those games are always.
I think they're like 3.5 point favorites or so.
Yeah, I lean Bengals, but it's definitely a game. That's going to be a great one. But I'm leaning Bengals there. What do you think, CJ? Bengals or Steelers?
I like the Bengals straight up. Steelers, I think they could probably be like a field goal game, but but like even with the Steelers getting a little bit healthier, I'd go Bengals.
Yeah.
Todd Exotic, hey fellas, bye week blues are in full effect over here. Landry or Jeff Wilson?
Bye week blues, indeed. I would go Landry, I guess. He can't go Wilson at this point. Like, he wasn't good even with Eli Mitchell out. How's he going to be good with him in, you know? So I'm going to go Landry, even though I don't like it.
Traded Gibson and Justin Fields for Carson Wentz. I'm in a 16-team league. Need a safe quarterback outside of Heineke. Was this a decent trade?
I mean, you got the running back depth to pull it off, but now with Swift getting hurt, you kind of see what happens at the position. I wouldn't have done that, to be honest. Like, Gibson is, if you made this trade like 5 weeks ago when Gibson was just a complete bag of dirt, yeah, probably. But lately, since the bye, I mean, 20 plus carries in both games, more involved as a receiver. Gibson's looking like he might be what we were expecting in round 2. In which case, him for Wentz straight up would have been good. Never mind mixing it. I mean, Fields, who cares? Like, it's Gibson for Wentz, though. I don't know. I don't like it myself. Do you?
No.
I like to.
Especially,
I mean, yeah, we got to be honest here. Like, I'll give you my honest answer. I don't think it's a great trade.
I feel like you could have, with all those running backs, I feel like you could have, if you wanted to deal one of them, you could have gotten something better than Wentz. Maybe
Yeah,
not a quarterback,
exactly.
but like you probably could have won Gibson and for like a receiver or something.
I feel like if I was trading Gibson for a quarterback, I'd be looking in like the Stafford range, like the QB1 range myself. I don't know. I wouldn't call Wentz safe. He's had some real bad duds lately.
T.O., Leonard Fournette, Miles Sanders, or DJ Moore?
I'm high on Sanders today. I'm going Sanders. DJ Moore, I'm always lower on. Like, he's been a bum. He had a touchdown last week, but otherwise he's been useless. Fournette, like, pretty safe all year, but Ronald Jones is now working more in the red zone and not the best of matchups. The Colts are significantly better against the run than the pass. So I'm going Miles Sanders here. What do you think?
Yeah, I usually make fun of you for that, but Fournette, I can't.
I was like, how low are you on Sanders?
I can't do Fournette. I just think he's terrible, even though he does get the touches. But I'm going Sanders there.
Yeah.
Steven Hernandez, is it worth it to stash Chase Edmonds?
Yeah, if he's on waivers, yeah, absolutely. I mean, great offense. He had a solid role before he went down. Depends on who you're cutting, but yeah.
T.O., don't sleep on the Jets since week 8. They have the most yards per game.
Wow, that is actually pretty. That's an interesting stat, indeed. I mean, Eli Moore has been a huge part of that too. We're not sleeping on him. We're loving Eli Moore today, so I'm into it. That was
also with Wilson on the bench too.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
Grind don't stop, biggest sleeper this week.
I mean, there's a ton of these like shitty little running backs of like Dontrell Hilliard. I like him probably the most of that group of running backs. But you can also talk about DJ Dallas potentially getting a bigger role in Seattle with the other guys hurt. So I think those are kind of like the Boston Scotts, the Hilliards. Those are like some of the sleepers I like. I mean, there's obviously Nick Westbrook with everybody out for the what's it called? The freaking Titans. But I don't know that I love that. I feel like that's just going to be tougher sledding for him with everybody else out around him. So I think the biggest sleepers come at the running back position this week with Hilliard, 4,600 on DraftKings, one of my favorites. I don't know. Do you have any like favorite guys that are going to blow up? I don't
know what his availability is, but I just got MVS this morning. I don't know what he is in normal leagues, but that's someone that I like a lot. I guess the thing about the Titans though, it's like the two shitty ones just go back to back. It's like Chester Rogers goes off, then goes 0. Yeah. And then it's like Westbrook goes off, the other one sucks. It's like
I know.
That situation stuff. But yeah, I guess I didn't even really think of Hilliard that much just because I didn't like have a need for him. But you've talked me into him a little bit.
I think he's going to catch like 6 to 8 balls. I would say too. I know it's not a sleeper, but I actually really like Marvin Jones against Atlanta this week. I know a lot of people are kind of forgotten about him, but with so many injuries around him, I think he could have a big like reemergence game. I do like MVS, and I mean I know we've got a lot of Beckham questions. Like I don't know, like when it comes down to like Beckham versus like Crowder or something like that, I might just roll OBJ and hope for a bomb and watch this guy reemerge. He's probably like not about who I'm most interested in seeing today. I can't wait to see that game in general, and then I'm excited to see what OBJ does there. So, but yeah, hopefully that gives you something. Grind don't stop to use. The running backs definitely more sleepers this week, though it seems.
Hey Jennings, CW sweating your Browns pick last week, and who's your survivor this week? It's actually your Eagles. Not feeling confident. Now that I have Denny on my side, though, I feel a little bit better about myself.
Oh yeah, always got to feel good with Denny on the side. The Eagles are on the road, right?
Yep.
That's actually like, good though. Daniel Jones is better on the road than he is at home for whatever
They're
reason.
they're retiring Strahan's number today, and I guess there's like every single time that they retire a number, they suck. I'm trying to make every reason.
Yeah, you've done some real historical research here. I like it.
Nick Hobie, Elijah Mitchell, or Javonte Williams for PPR.
That's a really good one. I have him neck and neck. The run back 2021 type of situation here, Nick. I'd probably go Eli. He's been so steady. How much does the hand impact him? We don't really know, but that's where I would be leaning.
Beats by Jumpman, AJ Dillon, or Aaron Jones if he plays, or Elijah Moore in the flex. Full PPR, no receiver has more fantasy points than Moore last 4 weeks. So I'm leaning that way, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm with you, Beats. That's where I would go to. It's just if we had clarity and we knew Jones was resting, it'd be Dillon. If both of them play, it becomes a little bit gross, and in which case I'd rather have had Moore in there. And as you said, again, the wide receiver 1 in the last 4 weeks. I know Wilson sucks. I know they haven't got done together yet, but I'm hoping that he's just so damn talented that doesn't matter, and he kills it today.
Mark Yosko, AJ Dillon, or AJ Dillon if he plays.
Second AJ Dillon. I know he's asking Aaron Jones if he plays. I would go Aaron Jones if they're both in there, but that becomes a gross situation.
The no-name man or woman, Patterson or DJ Moore, half PPR.
We're going Patterson. I love Patterson today.
Anthony Ruffin, pick 2, Mixon, DK, Deontay Johnson, Evans, DJ Moore. That's tough.
Great options here. I would limit this down to Mixon, Deontay, and Evans. And I'd personally go Mixon, Evans, but Deontay is right there for me. Would you consider?
My first was Mixon, Deontay Johnson. I think Evans does have like the touchdown upside, but I feel like. Do you think him and Brady even like are on the same page? I know they do like
much.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely like a Godwin. He just loves like the route running guys, but
yeah. And then he'll always force feed a touchdown to Evans. I'm like, all right, let's keep you happy.
Yeah, like the 1 yard line. Here's a fade.
Here you go. And Evans always gets it. Like he's money there. It's unstoppable. I go Mixon Evans, but yeah, Deontay's great floor there too. It's crazy that DK is like not really in this conversation at the point, but I can't trust DK until we see Russ do something. So yeah, I'm going Mixon Evans. You want to go Deontay instead? That's totally fine too.
That Vietnamese guy.
Right, there he is.
Do I start Jones if he starts, or do I go Gibson?
I would go Gibson. Surefire matchup. Like, yeah, exactly. Surefire, literally with your wording. Surefire matchup. That's where I roll.
Anthony Ruffin, pick 2.
Oh, yeah, we just did that one. Do I put him in timeout? If he asks it again, I'm going to put him in timeout. We'll see. Oh, he does. He asked it a few times down there. Anthony, new to the show. We appreciate you being here. Hopefully you can come back. Maybe you sub. Maybe you give it the bell. But don't repeat your questions or you get put in timeout.
Where's our bouncer from last week? I forget who it was.
Ben Thompson loved it. I don't know if he was the bouncer or not.
No, there was like a random guy that we were like.
I think it was Kurt.
Oh, it might have been actually.
Kurt's our man. He needs therapy, and then he bounces people for us, which we like.
Mo and 1, 2, 3 PPR Kittle or Pitts.
I'm going Kittle. I know the Pitts matchup, but he is just the floor is non-existent there. So give me Kittle, who's been just.
I'm really close to going Logan Thomas the rest of the season over Pitts.
Yeah.
I can't do Pitts anymore. Kurt, I tried to do a couple of those comments. I didn't know it stayed on your screen.
Oh, we love it.
We're good.
No apologies needed. It's fun to watch you vent. I love it, Kurt. No need to apologize at all.
Jeremy Taylor, Mike Will, or Ayuk, half PPR.
I'm going Ayuk. He's trending the right way. Mike is just so up or down. Even last week we blew up. It was like a last late in the game. I'm going.
Yeah,
Ayuk.
once that game turned weird, like the last quarter or so. Jeremiah Moore, do I play Aaron Jones over Bateman or Goddard?
If Aaron Jones plays, then yeah, but we're not going to know. And I think both of I would wait that out. I'd play Aaron Jones. That's like, do you do Goddard right now at 1:00, or do you go and wait it out for Aaron Jones and you can put Bateman in if he doesn't play? That's kind of where I would go, I think. What do you think, CJ? I don't know. Aaron Jones is such a tricky situation. Like, how do any of us know what's going to happen there? If he plays, it's Aaron Jones, and he's so fucking good that you got to have him in there, in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, I would play him if he plays over Bateman, and Bateman plays at night. So
yeah, it's essentially, I don't think Goddard is worth blowing the chance at Aaron Jones. Is kind of how I would lean there.
Moan 1, 2, 3. Should I play Elijah Moore or AJ Dillon? Problem is I don't have any late window option if Jones plays.
Right. Yeah. So I think we've got that one a few times, and I'm just going to roll Eli Moore and hope for another blow up. He could bust because Zach Wilson has not been able to get him the ball all year, but I think he's done enough these last few weeks that it's like clearly he's the guy, especially now with Corey Davis out too. I'm going Eli Moore there.
This is literally like the Aaron Jones fantasy tailgate.
Yeah.
Nick Hovey, do I play Aaron Jones or Ty Johnson and hope that he plays? I'd have to start DJ Dallas.
I would wait for like DJ Dallas versus Ty Johnson. They're pretty negligible to me. So I'd wait it out for Aaron Jones in that case.
Super Pradia, Hunt, Foreman, or Ty Johnson?
I go.
I think go Hunt there, right?
Yeah, I go Kareem Hunt there above Ty. They're close to him and Ty, but I go Hunt.
Jeremy Taylor, Judy, Devonta Smith, or Ayuk?
I'm gonna go Devonta Smith there. Ayuk's really close, but I'm gonna go Devonta.
Noah Michelle, should I trade Dalvin Cook, Pittman, and Pat Fryermuth for Kamara? I'm not touching that.
I wouldn't be trading for Kamara right now. I'm skeptical he might end up going down for the year. We'll see.
Super Pradia, you already asked that, I think.
Oh yeah. If we see it again, timeout time.
strike two. Noah Michelle, should I start Pittman or Elijah Moore?
That I know I said Eli Moore over most, and this is one on DraftKings. They're both 5,600, and I find myself going Pittman over Moore when I have the option, but it's really close. What do you think of these two, CJ?
You talked me into Moore today, so I'm going Moore.
Yeah, Corey Day is being ruled out. Does make it close. I want to just see where I have these guys ranked. Yeah, I have Pittman just a little bit higher. I'm going Pittman just a little bit more, but that's close. That's really close. I have a little more faith in Pittman in today's matchup, though.
Tomas Medina, SO Lobo.
I don't know exactly what that means. I know basically
Like
kissing, so maybe he's sending me a kiss. I don't know.
Oh,
I hope so.
I thought
I'll
it
take
was. I thought it was just saying the wolf, isn't it?
It might be. I think Israel might be like "let's go," like in Spanish, but I'm not positive.
Garrett Lasik, Gaskin or Aaron Jones, full PPR.
It's just like, is it odd when he has the bad weeks? Is that what Mitchell's saying? He had bad weeks on the odd week. So yeah, it is an even week. So I think I go Gaskin and just, he's a top 25 play. Like I would roll for that. It's tough. That's a really tough situation. Like you got to go with your gut too. Like if you think you're going to get a normal Aaron Jones day,
who did the Dolphins just sign at running back? Didn't they sign someone that was like?
They had Duke Johnson there.
I thought there was someone this week that they.
Oh, Philip Lindsay. Yeah, they brought in Philip Lindsay, but I don't know if he's playing or not. So.
True.
Philip Lindsay has 25 carries today.
That could be sketchy later in the season. One rock, half PPR, need one flex. Ramondre, Eli Moore, Eli Mitchell.
I go Eli Moore here. One rock. Good to see you too. I go Eli Moore. Yeah. Oh yeah. We just covering that one.
Yash Patel, Claypool, Boyd, Crowder.
I go Claypool there.
Heard something today. Need that.
Got some faith for you. There you go.
Steven Hernandez, Mike Williams, Jerry Judy.
I have him 27, 28. I think I'm leaning Judy for a little bit of safety, but what do you think, CJ?
I love Judy this week, but I'm going Mike Williams.
Ooh, the Mike Will blow up. You often do go Mike Will.
Yeah.
And I can't blame you. I mean, he's coming off a big game. He is that's tough. Very tough call. Indeed.
Brendan Belinza. Hey guys, Chase Claypool or Kendrick Bourne today in the flex?
I'm gonna go Claypool there. Bourne has some big games here and there, but I don't know that they're gonna need to throw enough to have him be viable today.
Roderick, Stafford or Cam? It's like
got that one a few times. Huh? I'm going Stafford. I know I like Cam. Cam is safer too with all these injuries, but I like that shootout game later.
Mike Duke, start 2. Waddle, Lockett, Higgins, Mike Will, Ayuk, half PPR.
I'm going Waddle and Lockett, I think. Lockett's definitely a little sketchy, but he did have 100 yards even with Russ sucking last week. Gets a Washington defense that is just hemorrhaged by big plays. So I kind of like Lockett. So I'm going Lockett, Waddle. Would you bench any of these other guys?
Waddle, Mike Williams, I want to say. That's all these guys are very up and down, like except for Waddle. Waddle's the only safe one.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of them are either like blow ups or complete zeros.
At least 2 of those guys are going to go completely bananas.
Yeah.
I hope we get it right for you. I would go Waddle for the safe play and then, Lockett myself. If you're not feeling the Seahawks, I know you said Mike Williams would be your next up. I think Ayuk's my next up, though. I'm really into him today.
Hey, Jennings, what do I do against I'm going against Miles Sanders today. Do I drink a lot and find out what he did after the game?
I hope he kills it. I hate to do that to you, Denny, but yes, I think you just drink a lot and then look later. Don't pay attention. Are you at the game today, Denny? I don't know if you're there, but that's always tough when you're facing somebody watching it live.
Project Standard League, Mitchell, Jones, Hunt.
I'd go either Mitchell or Jones. Probably Jones, but It's close. So that gives you at least Mitchell like plays later in the day. So you have the chance to see what happens, but I would go Jones myself.
Elena and Nieper. With Eli Mitchell questionable, I have Tim Patrick or Dan Arnold. Who would you start of these three?
I would start Eli Mitchell. He's expected to play. He's likely to go. We can figure out, DJ Dallas is a backup plan, but Arnold and Patrick, no, thank you.
Grind don't stop. How you feeling with Bateman this week?
Oof, that's my boy. Grind don't stop loves Bateman. So do I. Sunday night tonight. I like it. Cleveland on a bad secondary. I'm not like super confident of having like a must play like Eli Moore is for me, but top 35 receiver for me. He's in my lineup. I'm rolling him, baby. What do you think, Grind? Is he going to get it back together with his QB back? What do you think?
Campanelli, Danny Jennings, Sanders should dominate this game against the Giants. As a Giants fan, I'm scared of what the Eagles offense and Sanders will do.
I think they're going to smash them too. I think it's a good play, CJ, to use the Eagles this week. Which favorite last word?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going Rodgers. I'm going Rodgers there. I can't trust Russell right now.
And Savvy, start Hooper, Gesicki, Finn's play Carolina, and Amarty starting Waddle.
I go Gesicki still, though. No, what's his name? Shaheen. He's not playing today. Not that that's a huge thing, but it's opened up just a handful more snaps and targets. Hooper's useless. Like Gesicki's been great all year. I don't mind facing. I know it's a tougher defense against Carolina somewhat. You already have Waddle in there, but really, those are the only two guys that get any type of targets anyways. So that's like a very condensed target tree. I like it.
Eduardo Hero as a flex. Fance, Jefferson, Mitchell, or Johnson at the Jets. Loving the show today. Cheers.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being here and your kind words. Who's Jefferson? Van Jefferson? It's got to be, right? Because Justin Jefferson wouldn't be in a question. I lean Mitchell. And if not him, then Fan. I'm not into – I know how bad the Jets are against running backs, but like David Johnson is just – I don't even know what he is anymore. It's a slug out there. I don't want to go with that, as good as the matchup is. So I'm going to go Mitchell, then Fant if you wanted to pivot away and needed some more upside. What do you think, CJ?
I'm going Mitchell. Yeah, I'm going Mitchell here. Droid, Gould, or Tucker?
Always Tucker. Always Tucker.
Droid again. Ravens defense or Texans defense?
That's actually pretty close. I go Texans, though. The Jets matchup. Let it rip.
And Savvy, would you start Kendrick Bourne over Bateman, Sanders, Javonte, or Mitchell?
If you need upside, no. I wouldn't over any of those guys. No.
Red X, PPR, need one. Hilliard, Javonte Williams, Anderson, or Bourne. A lot of Kendrick Bourne in the last few minutes.
I know, yeah. Well, I would never even consider Bourne. Like I know he's had a couple big games, but is he really that? Has he done that much? I don't know. Maybe he has done more than I've seen because I haven't even considered him. I like Hilliard though in PPR. I think he's going to catch a few balls. Javonte though against the Chargers, that's really tough to bench as well. I'd go Javonte myself. It is 12:40, so I'm going to go rapid fire because I know we have our lineups to get ready. I have to double check my DFS, my Roto Street League. So I'm going to go rapid fire. As we go, Wolfpack, thumbs up while we rip through these. And of course, again, a lot of new names here. Awesome to see. If you haven't already, please consider subscribe and help us to get that 2K goal. I'll be so appreciated. So thank you guys for being here. Let's rip. Stevenson or Foreman, I'm going Stevenson. Cheers to you as well. Chiefs defense, where the stash? No. Defense stashes just never make sense to me. Who gets more receiving targets, Scott or Sanders? I think it's about 50-50. They don't really have any rhyme or reason to it. I wish I could tell you a little bit more clear. If I had to gun to my head who gets more, I'd say 7 for Scott, 6 for Sanders type of thing. So I'd go Scott, but we'll see. As a lifesaver flex, Fant, Jefferson. We already answered that one for you. Eduardo, we both said Mitchell. Any good bets or parlays? See, did you post any props today on the Instagram?
No, like how Todd, my friend, lives in West Virginia, so he has like the DraftKings app, and it's just so much different. Like all those like player prop things we're doing, like in anytime touchdown score today, but there's like 10 players involved to win like 15,000 or something ridiculous.
Ooh, I like it. I do love the anytime touchdown scores. That's always a good bet. So we'll see. Matt Stevens just joining in. Awesome. Update on Marquise. The latest was they were that he's expected to play tonight. So I'm planning on him being in my lineup and then the real lineup, and I would definitely play him above DJ Moore myself. Love the timeouts for Denny Jennings. They do fire me up. I'm a big fan of it. Sanders, Pittman, Fournette, full PPR. I'm going to go Pittman there. Big fan of Pittman today. Full PPR, flex, Cooks, Sanders, Elijah Moore, Eli Moore for me. Praying Landry. Good luck. Praying indeed for you. Not a great option ever. Can you put me in timeout for the hell of it? Then he just wants to be punished. He
Yeah,
actually
just
banned Facebook people in timeout, which is too bad. But
hey, you just told the secret. Now all the scums are gonna go into Facebook.
yeah, they're asking a million questions on Facebook. Yash Patel, MVS, Dylan, Hilliard, Crowder, Boyd at Flexful PPR. I don't think any of these other options are good enough for you to pull the trigger. I honestly, Dylan, even with Jones there, is probably better than the rest. So I would just go for Dylan there. Yeah, AJ Dillon, but I would start Miles Sanders over him. I would just go for that. No, I'm Christmas tree shopping right now, but watching you guys with my earbuds. Love it. Fun times, Christmas tree shopping. We got to do that ourselves. Hopefully not today, but we will see. Brady against Colts or Herbert against Denver. I'm going Brady against the Colts. Denny, that's what I do on the golf course. Love it. Ride or die fans. The guys are always here with us. I appreciate it. You guys are legends. You should sell beer at these extras instead of hot chocolate. 100%. They'd make so much more money with that.
We need a Patriots Eagles game soon. I don't know when it'll be on the schedule. It'll be
Denny either visits up here or we go down to Philly. We need to meet Denny Jennings, no doubt about it. Absolute legend. Starting Bateman and Judy. Good luck, man. I'm with you. I'm into that. Sorry for the no. You're good, Eduardo. And appreciate the apologies. No timeout for you. He gives us the prayer hands to stay out of timeout. No, you're good. You're a legend every week. We love having you. How long? Who knows at this point, right? Fake COVID cards and injuries and AB.
I feel like didn't they say it could be next week?
I would imagine within the next week or two, though. And he's the wide receiver 4 in PPR points per game. So as annoying as it's been, it's still worth holding out for. Indeed. So the latest was that he's moving around better, and they expect him back within the next week or two. Stevenson, Bateman, or Hilliard. Standard makes it different. I'd go Stevenson there. Hope for the touchdown upside. Tim Patrick versus Westbrook. Patrick, I guess. Gaskin, Pittman, Cooks, Lockett. Pittman and Lockett for me. Hilliard or Foreman. I'd go Hilliard over Foreman, especially in PPR. Waddle or Gibson. That's actually a really tough one. I'm going to go Waddle. I'm going to go Gibson, though, against Seahawks. Give up the second most points. Hello. Nice. Tree has been secured. I don't have to go tree shopping. I love it. Eli Mitchell.
What a woman.
Yeah, I know. The best. Hills is the absolute best. No doubt about it. Getting the tree done for me. No apple picking, no trees, just the best. Eli Mitchell or Cooks flex PPR. I'd go Eli Mitchell. I'm just not a big Brandon Cooks fan these days. I don't know. But I'm going to go Eli Mitchell there. Yash, appreciate you being here as well. Good luck to you indeed. Herbert or Cam Newton. I'm going to go Herbert. Hilliard, Foreman, Damian Harris. I'm going to go Damian there. Wilson or Wentz. I'd go Wentz. I think. I don't know. But yeah, I guess. Aaron Jones or AJ Dillon. If they play, I'd go Aaron Jones. Awesome. That's everybody. Whew. All right, fine.
I was going to say, I have my list of anytime touchdown scores, $10 to win 13,000.
Yeah, let's hear it in a sec. I'm going to just quickly answer these ones. Patterson or Ayuk. I'm going to go Patterson. Antonio Gibson, Miles Sanders, or Damian Harris. I'm going to go Gibson. Gaskin or Eli Mitchell. I'm going to go Eli Mitchell and Kittle over Goddard. Ty Johnson or Aaron Jones. I'd wait for Aaron Jones to play DJ Dallas if he doesn't play. All righty, questions cut off. Awesome stuff, Wolfpack. Thank you guys so much. Let's hear CJ's 10 people to score a touchdown at any time today.
Mike Evans, Harris, McCaffrey, Eckler, Thielen, Kupp, J-Rob, Moore, Hurts, Lamar Jackson.
I like them all. I mean, Harris is probably Harris for the Pats.
No, Najee, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's even better. Yeah, I mean, obviously one of them won't. Like, the odds are very against you to hit all 10, but you'd win $15K if you get all of them.
Yeah.
Love it. That'd be fucking awesome. Let's text me throughout the day as like each one hits. That would be amazing. All righty, Austin. You're a legendary. I'll get it for you.
What's up, you stickers?
Yeah. The Muth, Hilliard or Johnson. Johnson's probably David Johnson, so not him. I'd go the Muth. I'd go for the touchdown upside of the Muth, my man. Of course we'll get you, Austin. Why are you here so late today, though? You usually hear legendary. Now he's putting an angry face on us. Get out of here. We love you, Austin. Thanks for being here. And thanks to the Wolfpack for all you guys being here. We're going to go get our lineup set now, but all the updated rankings will be at rotostreetjournal.com. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you haven't already subbed on YouTube, please do. We're trying to get to 2K by the end of the year. That would mean the world. You can consider doing that thumbs up on the way out. Help us get out to more people. So appreciated. Best of luck in week 12, guys. Let's go Eli Moore. I know it's been a big Eli Moore day. Aaron Jones, again, if he's in, you probably have to play him type of thing. We'll see how that one plays out. Best of luck, Wolfpack. Any final words, CJ?
Nope. Good luck to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy it.
Absolutely. Hugs and kisses from us and hugs and kisses back to you guys. And Wolf Fantasy Sheep, guys. Be the wolf. Good to see you, Omar. Later, guys.
See ya.